Hello and welcome to the Master 2023 3-day challenge. And first of all, happy Chinese New Year, Year of the Rabbit. And I've already said to the live attendees, I'm wearing a peach blossom color, which is pink. And I am so very excited to do this. And this is actually the first time I'm doing a 3-day challenge at the start of the Chinese New Year. And I want to quickly jump on this to share with you that the significance of 2023, because so many of you have already shared in Facebook that you'd like career directions. You are doing certain things, achieved some success, but some of you want to do teaching, some of you want to set out and do something different. I think the one lady also mentioned that she wants to really achieve, she loves her career, first of all, but she loves to do something slightly different. And how can she do this? Or what would be the direction? And this is where I have sort of mentioned in the email as well. Direction is so much more important than speed, because most of the time at the start of the year, we tend to go straight into the doing mode. And we forgot to kind of just to take a step back, get our energy contained, and starting to really tune in what this year is for me. And that's what this 3-day challenge is all about. And I'm a yin metal. For some of you who have followed me for a while, I'm in metal. I'm very much with the planning, organizing, strategic vision. But at the same time, I'm also very, very aware of my energy status. So this is also what we're going to touch on during the 3-day challenge, because this is what I consider the yin and yang. I mean, yang is just planning, but the yin is how you can hold your energy, how you can expand that capacity so you won't stop at the emotion of fear. Some of you mentioned the fear, right? Some of you mentioned this, have been planning things but never really get to fruition because you're actually not really taking action. So how we can actually expand that energetic capacity so that we can receive wealth, we can receive that promotion, we can receive everything we desire for in life, right? Because I truly believe the universe have all this abundance and wealth. It's there. It's literally there at your doorstep. The thing is, are you opening the door for it to receive it? That's the big part of it. So without jumping ahead, I want to set us into a really a calm and peaceful pace to receive the information I'm about to share with you. But also, most importantly, is to open your mind, open your perspective, how you receive certain information. Okay, so it's very interesting. In the last couple of days, I've been sending emails and I've been quite active on social media. You might see I shared some of the information in terms of the trend about 2023, right? There is an instability because of the yin water element, right? So there is this, and people receive this information. It's quite interesting to see. People receive information in a very, very different way. Some people see this as opportunity, because you will know there's always a heroes, there's always new talent really shows up at the time that is unpredictable, that is actually, there is an instability in there. But there is people have fear as well. Like some people's immediate reaction is fear, is freeze. So I want you to gently looking at that. If you are holding that fear, there is a bit trepidation, there is a little bit uncertainty, I want you to gently hold that at this start of our challenge and don't judge it. We want to open to this emotion so we can move it through. And then we're going to revisit at the end of the 3-day challenge and see how, that I want you to actually really, this is the 3-day process to truly realize your power, that you hold that power. And that power lies in changing perspectives, changing the way how you receive information, changing the way how you seek information, and changing the way how, most importantly, changing the way how you see yourself, right? Now we've got more people now coming in, and so that was my opening, but I do want to say welcome to all of you showing up live. I'm so very excited. Happy Chinese New Year to you. And can you type in the chat box, who is the first time here, because I want to say hello to you. I know a lot of familiar names. I know some of you, we've worked it before, but I want to say hello to you. If this is the first time you join me live on the event, feel free to type emoji, type a one, whatever it is. Oh, hello, Nina. Janine, first time. Jessica, so good. Wave back to you. Anand, I think that's how I pronounce your name. I hope I pronounce your name right. So good. You arrived so early. I noticed your name. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. There's more people coming in. Without further ado, this is Tribal Venus, Human Design. Thank you so much. Rabbit Wood here. Okay, wonderful. Some of you already know your elements. I love it. And then we are going to touch on that. Alice. Fantastic. Oh, joining from Chicago. Thank you so much. Michelle, I think I know your name. Maybe there is a different Michelle, but welcome. Eleni, and just so you're logged down. Alba, Rosemary. Oh, thank you so much, guys. All right, let me share my screen. I think this is okay. For some reason, it's not giving me full screen, but you can all see it, right? Guys, you can see my screen. I think that's okay. Beautiful. So, day one. Okay, first of all, overall, the 3 days, I want to be very organized. Why day one? I want to do a crystallize your vision, because this is so important. This is the direction we talked about. So before we run, we need to know which direction we actually running towards, because if it is the right direction, that's good. If it is the wrong direction, the faster you run, the further you're away from your goals. This is most of the time that we think we get caught up in. We believe that we continue to do that we'll get there, but sometimes this just doesn't work. And one of the key reasons that 2023 is a significant year, and this is at the start of the year, I showed up on YouTube. I done a video which so many people have seen it, and I showed up on ABC weekend breakfast. I talked about this year because this year is the energy in there. There is a significance in there. It's different from any other year. It's because this is the transition from Feng Shui age 8 to Feng Shui age 9. This is where we are jumping the micro universe. So your whole universe around you is going to, the energy within it is going to be reset. Okay, so this is number one, because for some of you, if you don't know the concept of Feng Shui 20, Feng Shui age 8 versus age 9, this is how we actually use that to gauge every 20 years. So as you know, every year we're looking at energy. So every 20 years, that's influenced us so much. So the Feng Shui age 8 started from 2004 to 2023, which is this year, it finished. This is where we see the tremendous wealth. It was dominated by the earth element. This is where we see all the property markets, real estate investment really start to peak. A lot of people made a lot of money during this 20 years. But the thing, this is the important thing, the game is changing. The rule is changing. Everything is reset. This is a great starting point. If you think this is a race, this is a game, now you are no longer behind. If you think, okay, I have missed this opportunity, my last 5 years has not been great, or whatever you feel that things has not worked out for you, this is a time. That's why I'm saying this is an energy portal. Okay. So it's so important that you are actually knowing the rule, first of all, but you also actually standing at a starting point and you know which direction to run. Don't run the opposite direction. Because, you know, that, for example, if you have made things work for you in real estate, this might not be the huge thing that we're going to talk about. Across 3 days, there will be information given to you from the charts I see in this year, also from the charts I see for the next 20 years. There will be whatever I share with you. Usually, I don't really so much prepare what I'm going to say. I tune into the information of all of you live here, and then whatever the information comes up, that's what you're meant to hear. Okay, so, but this is one thing. This is the number one reason, right? The second is, for some of you, this is a year where you put in 1, you can get out of 10. And I was having a conversation yesterday, actually, with one of my clients, is sometimes Feng Shui, regardless it's Feng Shui or your destiny chart, knowing direction is know how we can do things efficiently. And, you know, but also at the end of the day, we also want to get rewarded. We also want to feel fulfilled. We also want to be satisfied, right? We want to give 1. If we're not getting 10, at least we're getting 5, we're getting 2, or we're getting 1, right? It's an equal give and receive. This is a good energy flow. But some of you, I have already, you know, seen in the messages is you feel like you're putting out 10, you're getting 1. That is, there's something in there. The energy is not flowing properly. Okay, if you feel you're putting out 10, you only get 1 or 2, there is something is blocking this flow, is blocking the yin and yang balance. There is the imbalance there. And hopefully during this 3-day challenge, we're going to know what is actually, we're going to remove those blockages, okay? And some of those obstacles and blockages are in here. Some of these needs to transform from here to here. But there is also some practical, the concrete or very logical reasons that we will be able to derive from your chart. And this is the exciting part. This is where I want you to walk away from these 3 days, knowing what are you going to get out of this, okay? So the importance, first of all, 2023, there is some of you is going to really amplify. Amplify is a word, and multiply is a word. What do you put it in? So this is a year. This is why so important. And I said, if you have a good star, that doesn't count. That counts maybe 20%. There are the rest of the 80%. You need to know where to run, the direction. You need to know how to strategically plan. You need to remove the blocks. These are the 80%. If you do that, then this year, at the end of the year, you will see the multiplied, amplified result. And this is where the difference between this year versus all other years. It's easier when you know, because this is a year will launch you straight into the Feng Shui age 9. And the energy is it's radiating 360 degrees. It's a fire energy versus the very still. And think of the earth, think of the real estate and property, is the earth energy. Earth energy is very still, very solid, very reliable. But when we move into the fire energy, see the flames. I talked about this year, there might be rain over the flames, but nevertheless, there is a flame there. This flame can go really high within a second. If people, bushfires, how fast the fire can go. It's not the speed the earth can compare. Okay, so this is where I want you to get the key, the core of the energy is we're going to jump into the fire-driven Feng Shui H9. And if you put in the right amount of work, I never encourage overwork or hard work or just hard work. I like the smart work. We want that intelligence in there, but we also have this aligned action. We take action, right? The yin and yang, and then you launch. You will see your result. Some people want to do teaching. Some people want to establish their new business. This is the time. And okay, so now I hope you get excited, right? And feel free to pop in any emojis, any comments, any questions in the chat box. This is supposed to be interactive. But nevertheless, the Facebook will be a beautiful platform afterwards, after this. Oh, thank you, Anna. Love that. Okay. This is the one thing I see leading up to this challenge, because I really observe the energy of all of you. And it's so interesting that, because I mentioned competition is fierce in one of the predictions, the overall, just quickly give you the economic outlook would still be, we mentioned the yin water, right? The yin water sitting on the, actually, let me just go with this first. So 2023 for, I assume most of you have watched my YouTube video, but if not, you can always watch the longer version after. Here, I want to give a quick overview. This is a picture of year of the water rabbit, yin water rabbit, okay? So yin water rabbit is the first half of year. This is like the morning dew. This is why this year is so beautiful and it's so peaceful. Yin water is the embodiment of sensitivity. So if you have this dream, you have this artistic pursuit, creative expression. I had a session yesterday, this beautiful lady, Yin Metal. She has spent 2022 writing her book. And when we had come together and just a mentoring session, and this is her year, like it's so, because creative expression, it doesn't just mean verbal communication. Verbal is a big part of it, but also means writing. It means, if music is you, 2023 is going to be so such a beautiful year for the entertainment industry, movie industry, anything to do with beauty. And I know one of my clients, Maria, she is running a beauty salon. She's doing all this, like helping people to achieve a beautiful look. Such a beautiful year, like a business is going to be amazing. Because why? It's the yin water represents this misty rain, the morning dew, right? But it is sitting gently on this beautiful petal of flower. See, this is such a serene picture, peaceful morning, quiet, like it show you beauty. This is the number one thing that you can dive in so much and so deep to apply to your business. What can you bring out the true beauty of what you do? I mentioned some of the industries, which is really straightforward. But what about some of not that straightforward beauty you can show? And I've seen this human design that I think is called tribal Venus human design, right? What you can bring out the beauty in the human design, the beauty of each of your client. Like when you communicate with your target audience, with your ideal dream client, maybe this is not the year to talk about, other things, but to actually bring their true beauty within them, within who they truly are, right? Beauty is a key lever that you're going to pull if you are a business. Packaging, if you have a solid product, let's say, you're going to have to make sure this product is packaged quite beautifully, because this is the year after the pandemic, after the COVID, people are really in the mood to sit in this peaceful, serene morning, have a cup of tea, appreciate this morning dew sitting on a beautiful flower. Not last year. Last year was tiger. Tiger was like this bigger animal, right? It's more chaotic. Last year is like, honoring the tiger's energy, is very young, very masculine, is very creating a lot of changes, kick up a lot of dust. But this year, the sentiment is very different. This year is you're going to have that time to sit back and then have your cup of tea, the me time, to actually really tuning in. What does this petal, what does this morning dew sitting on a petal means to me, right? Is this how you market? What is your communication platform? How do you present to your audience? Is your website is appealing? Because this is from feng shui perspective, this is the first, your front door, right? A lot of people running their business online. How is this, the first impression is very important in 2023, because it's a rabbit energy. Rabbit is gentle, and rabbit represents its beauty, attraction, because rabbit in the Chinese astrology represents peach blossom. I mentioned at the start, wearing peach blossom color. It's about love, attention, attraction, and it's all about getting people's attention onto you. This is a great year to really step out on that stage, because the stage is being set. The limelight is shining. The key is, do you have the energy to hold, to actually step onto it, to stand in the limelight and really show your craft, really show? This might be talking, this might be book, might be writing, this might be performing, this might be singing, to do with music, art and culture, theater. All this is going to be booming. You will hear so much in the news this year. But of course, there is a lot of scandals as well about celebrity, because rabbit is a very sexual energy. And so you will, there's always two sides of the coin, right? Just a little bit of warning in there. So the negative side, not negative, something that you need to aware though, is rabbit has that first impression appeal. Okay, so you will see, you also need to be so discerning in this year. Is on the other hand, when you actually engage with people that you want to do business, when you actually engage with people that that you want to say you're a client, you're looking for a coach, you're looking for a mentor, you also need to, first they attract you from their first impression, but there is also a deeper part. In 2023, there will be a lot of people taking advantage of this. They provide you just a surface level, beautiful, but there is no substance. This is why one of the reasons in 2023, you guys need to be very careful with online scams. Okay, so if you're looking for love, I talked about the rabbit is the peach blossom, the romance flower. Also be careful, that you do not just see, oh, this person looks so beautiful, like, it's the look, the height I want, and then you go. Make sure you ground yourself. You are anchored enough to actually not only just being attracted by the first impression, but also hold your energy to see what is underneath. So there is two sides on this beauty point. This is number one point I want to make. Okay, just see in this picture, that's what I want to share with you. We haven't even get to the 2023 in Water Rabbit chart, yearly chart, but I think we have enough time today. How is everyone going so far? Give me some feedback. How do you like this very number one point? Does this actually really activate some of your thoughts, your creative thoughts about your business, about your life? Drop me some comments here. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Jay. Oh, so glad you're here, Nina. Beautiful. Yes, creativity. Eleni, I hope I pronounced your name right. Yes, last year has been go, go, go. If you have a lot of action last year, this year is actually to sit back, to review what you have done. Give yourself this peace, this space, this spaciousness to actually see and also celebrate, in order to offer other people beauty, you need to see what is the beauty within you. This is some of the block and obstacles I talked about, that when we're not getting that 10, when we're not putting in 1, getting out that 10 to receive this abundance, sometimes is we are not giving ourselves permission. We are not seeing the beauty within us. So on a deeper, just seeing your comments, this is really, I love all what you've shared. I just want to share that you are, just from this one sentence, I can see so much beauty in each of you, so much beauty. And I want you to see that yourself. Okay. Oh yeah, Anna, oh, thank you. I know we have a different time zone. You are the artist, of course. This is your ear. Showcase on Instagram. I've seen your art. Beautiful, thank you. I think you, yeah. You're in European time zone. Thank you so much for coming in. All right, I want to give you a little bit, now moving to the reason I I have so many insights to share with you. Is how I draw this insight is not I'm just hitting, apart from intuition and all that, there is always some theory and concrete rationale behind it. Okay, so when we're looking at this year, when we're talking about the inflation later, economy and all this, I see this in this chart. This is the 2023 in Water Rabbit yearly chart. Okay, so most of you already know your chart. If you haven't, jump on the link that you can actually generate this yourself. So every one of you have this chart, and you've got a year pillar, month pillar, day pillar, and hour pillar. Okay, so the top is called a heavenly stem. The bottom, the 4 animal signs are called earthly branches, and hidden stem is the one hidden within these animal signs. Okay, so we'll talk about this later tomorrow. But what I want to show you is one of the important things when we actually read charts. This can get a little bit technical, but don't worry, I will teach you, or I will share what does it mean. When I read this chart, I look at these symbols. Indirect wealth, direct wealth, DW means direct wealth. We talked about that tomorrow. We're going to focus on economy, wealth, what does that mean to you? But today, let's look at the first half of the year pillar and month pillar. HO, you can see HO and EG. HO means a hurting officer, direct translation from Chinese. EG means eating God. I know some of you here are Chinese, these are direct translations, so don't worry too much. But these 2 codes in your chart, if you can find these 2 codes in your chart, it literally just means creative expression. We talked about the beauty. This is the year for new talent to show up. Why I draw that point is because this is what we call the output element. And to me, that's creativity. If you don't really, because output can be very technical, but if you can't remember, output is the element you produce. So I'm going to teach you step by step how you read this. But all you need to know now is 2023, why I talked about the beauty, why the new talent. I say this is a time for you there will be a lot of overnight success. Of course, overnight, we all know the overnight might be 10-year overnight success, right? It's just they have been building, they have been carving this diamond and buried underneath the soil. This is probably the best analogy. Every one of you have this jewel, is hidden, is buried. You've been crafting it. The earth, the knowledge has been forming it. This is the year it's going to show up. It's going to be put on this velvet tray to show people, right? Then you're gonna know what it actually takes to do that, to polish it. But first step, you're gonna have to step out of the soil. You're gonna have to coming out. So hurting officer, you can see this element is buried underneath, is showing up. That's why there will be, this year is showing me the creativity, the artist, and there is no traditional trends or any kind of restrictions. If you are talented, if you believe in your craft, if you truly see your beauty and show it to the world will appreciate it. That's what it takes. So at the end of the day, I want to put this power back to you. And do you have, this energy, what it takes to actually put it out there? Some of you want to do teaching. Beautiful, because you've been learning this. Some of you do not need to learn more. Some of you needs to use more of what you have learned. Don't be afraid. This is a year, if you ever think that, oh, nobody will pay attention to what I say. I don't have the looks. I don't have this qualification. I don't have this and that. I want you to drop all that, because this year is the people who see the person, the artist, the creator, you're the creator, who sees the beauty in themselves. All those are excused. All those are the soil, the dust. You need to remove them, polish them, dust them off. You the diamond, time to shine. Okay, so this is, I want to show you, the charts is showing me this. And you will see a lot of new talent. You know, this morning I see the Triple J 100, like a hot 100 or top 100 or something, you know, that you will see people dominating the charts. You might never heard of them. But who cares your past record? If you have what it takes, this is the year to make it, to amplify and multiply. 2 keywords to remember that. Okay, there's 3 signs. I want to quickly show you this. I want to, this is the time to bring out your chart. And usually when I share this, people who doesn't have these 3 signs will feel disappointed. Don't be, because there's so many other opportunities I'm going to share. So the 3 signs will get really excited today. I want to get you excited as well. We'll have what I call the unfair advantage. Don't you love that? Unfair advantage is like you put in 1, you get 20. You know, in my world, I like people to put in 1, get 10. And this year, you get 20, right? How amazing is this? So these 3 signs, if you have your chart, you're going to look. It has to be in your day pillar. Okay. So, okay. First of all, let me explain. Day pillar is this sign. It's in the day pillar on top. We're looking for the sign on top called heavenly stem. All right. So get your chart and I want you to drop me emoji, whatever happy emoji, if you do have these 3 signs. Is the Yin Fire in the day pillar only, is the Yin Water, and the Yang Wood. If you have any of these signs in your day pillar. I have Yin Fire. Okay, sorry, not in. Oh, Yin Fire. Alini, yes. Yin Water. Anna, fantastic. Wendy, congratulations. Yin Fire. Okay, Yin Fire people. This is your unfair advantage. Because this is the Yin Water year, right? This is the Yin Water rabbit. Yin Water, and then Jackie, Yin Water. There's a lot of Yin Water. Our pillar doesn't count, okay? Yang Wood, I'm going to talk about Yin Fire. Yin Fire, if you have the Yin Fire in your day pillar, you are going to, you know, that the key point, you really need to show up, even you feel that, because a fire person, sometimes their energy can be, they can be so passionate 1 minute, but next minute they talk themselves out, right? Do not allow fear to stop you. This is the year that you really need to show up, because this is what I call the unfair advantage, because there is a relationship between water and fire. Water represents your power, your discipline. So in a way, the fire person, you need to be disciplined in a way to gain that personal power. Okay? So whatever you intend to achieve, especially with Yin Fire, you're the candlelight. So you're going to have to find something really sustains you. sustains your energy, so you can actually have that low burn, but you continue at it. This is the year you're going to gain so much attraction in whatever you do. Now, Yin water is about networking. Yin water is really, this year is about, think of the rain. You maybe see one drop of the rain, but if you have the Yin water, this is the year for you to connect with others, with community. So you can have this for ocean, like the force that ocean has. So in water and young wood. So if you are a young wood, this is the year that you're gonna really focus on what actually supports you. What really makes you feel good, the sense of comfort. It could be your home. It could be something that just looking at it, you have so much joy, right? You need to look after you. Young wood person is a very driven sign. Young wood person is very structured as well. Everything needs to be done yesterday. But during that process, you might forget yourself. This is the year really see your beauty. Give yourself love, coming back to that beauty point, okay? So, so now this is coming to the 3 easy steps I want you to do after today's challenge to crystallize your vision. I already given you some of the pointers, but these 3 easy steps, the key point is I want you to follow these 3 key points so that you know what does 2023, this Yin water sitting on Yin wood, actually means to me, because everyone is different. I already touched on some of your signs in fire, in water, and also the young wood, right? But there's more layer, because we need to interpret it. What does Yin water mean to me first? And then we interpret what is Yin wood, which is a rabbit, means to me. And the key or the trick is when we read this chart, the top represents the first 6 months. So I want you to read, what does Yin water means for me for the first 6 months of 2023? So you actually really focused. So for example, I explained for Yin water, let's say Yin water person, the first 6 months is really about whatever you do, your business or career. Let's say your career, you might need to, reach out to or step out of your comfort zone to really connect or find those communities that really support you, the like-minded people that you are on the same wavelengths. Just connection with people, because see, this year is a beauty, is attraction. You need to have that. You need to step out. But for you specifically, it's more so for the connection, right? So let's come back. Oh, the rabbit would be the second half, which is a later 6 months. Okay, so that's how you read it. It's already teach you a little bit technique how you read this. So this is, I'm going through these 3 steps, and you can ask questions here. And I want all of you to be crystal clear about this. You should have 2 key things. If you have worked with me before, I always ask people's intention when they come to work with me. And I always ask them, don't give me 5, give me 1 or 2. So you get to have 2. Anything more than 2, I feel the energy is diluted. So you can maybe have a key goal or the vision, but you can have some sub vision to support it. that all kind of channeling into this vision. But I don't want you to have so many, then you lose track and then you get distracted. This is where we leak our energy. We want to do this. I want to have my love, career, move home, promotion, set up a business. I can guarantee at the end of the year, it's not great. But if you focus, channel your energy into this one thing for the first 6 months, and how you actually to narrow down to this one, I always say this one thing, that if you lift this thing, all the others will be lifted up as well, and or they become unnecessary. That's one thing you're gonna grasp. So take some time. There is no, you have all the time after this challenge to think about these two things. How you, and the chart will gives you the hint, the key theme for the first half and then for the second half. And this is the 3 steps, how you're going to work that. Okay. So number 1 is know your essence. Number 2 is understand what aspect water and wood element actually represent in your life. What does it mean? And then I actually give you a quick cheat sheet to decode the meaning, so you will know what that means. You don't have to learn the charts to do that. So step 1, know your essence. This is the top in your day pillar. Does anyone here live with me do not know their essence? You can drop in the chat box and we can have a chat after. But I hope this is easy enough. You should all know what is your essence at birth, because this is important. This is you. This is as important as who you truly are. You need to know this as a first step. Before you do anything, before I make any business decision, before I join or select any course or mentor or training or investment, I tune back to my essence at birth. How does this resonate with my energy? Because a water energy is very different from the metal energy. Even I'll give you a very quick example. Even yang metal versus yin metal are very different. And this is where during the course of the wealth alchemy, we learn deeper. Yang metal is a sword. And I love to explain the elements in a real analogy in nature or in an object, because it's so much easy to understand. I always use the sword to describe yang metal. A sword, if you are a yang metal, don't know if there is a yang metal. Oh, Anna, you are a yang metal. Okay. If you are a yang metal person, you sometimes need pressure. Because think of the sword, if this is a piece of metal, it really needs the fire to brute it, to form it into something really shiny and useful and sharp. Okay, so sometimes the pressure is not necessarily bad for young metal person. They can take it. Okay, it is under pressure, under the fire's pressure, they actually perform. This is like for you, Anna. Like if you are the artist, you need pressure to produce your art. If there is an exhibition in 3-day time, your inspiration will just shine. It's just exploding. But if you are just doing there, okay, you know, I plan to do it next year, you will always think that tomorrow is the best day. You won't get things done, but you need pressure. This is where, when it comes to your own essence, it's so important. You need to know a strategy, what works for you, because there are so many spiritual teachings as well. And sometimes our ego can get so clever. We use spiritual teachings as an excuse not to fulfill who we truly are. But if we know what is our essence, we can see through those excuses. Like the young metal person can think, oh, I'm going to follow my divine timing. This is very, very, a lot of the spiritual teaching out there. You know, you're gonna drawn to that. But the people comes in here and sharing, why am I actually really not really being productive? And I caught them out and I say, there is certain pressure is good for you. The metal need the warmth. The metal needs the high temperature in order to melt them so that they can reform and transform. That's what the beauty of knowing what your essence is. And this is, I mean, you know, I'm so grateful that you're here listening to this, because people just know they're born in ear of the pig. They won't understand this. On the other hand, the yin metal is a very sensitive and gentle, we call the small metal, we call it a jewelry. It's a very different energy comparing to the young metal. Young metal has the, you know, it has the masculine side. That's why it's called young. Yin metal, you can't have too much pressure. If you have too much pressure, the yin metal will break. Okay? The yin metal will completely just lose their true essence. They will kind of, you know, they think of this a beautiful bangle, or, you know, that made in 24 gold. If you put that in the fire, if you burn it in the fire, they will melt. They will become a piece of metal with no value. The key with yin metal is the preciousness. It's the subtlety. It's they're usually very valuable. They're small, but they hugely, they compact. Like, you know, what they say, pack a punch. That's what they do. And they need to follow in a way. Sometimes they need to release the pressure. So this is an example I'm giving you, even just within the yin and yang metal, the strategy, how you move through your career, your business is so very different. Okay, so I digress on that. This is step one. All you need to know today is know your essence, all right? Oh, good, Rachel, you find yours, Yin Fire. Fantastic. Now, step two, this is also a very quick cheat sheet. That if now you all know your essence at birth, this is the left column. I have already written what does the water and wood means for you. Okay, so if you, for example, Rachel, you are the Yin Fire, and you don't even know Yin Fire, Yang Fire, as far as your fire, 2023, the key things I want you to remember is power and resources. Okay, resource element, because water represents your power. Wood represents your resource element. So in a way, the first half of 2023 is all about power represents, the next slide is about meaning. Okay, so at this step, let's just all work it out. The two key things for 2022 for all of you. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you resonate, Anna, about the pressure. Fantastic. Now, I'll give you guys a minute and ask question, and you know who is not clear, and I can show you. But this should be really clear now. Write it down in a piece of paper for first 6 months of 2023. This is my vision. You know, whether it's resource, whether it's power, whether it's money, whether it's output or friends, just write it down and we can work it out in step 3. What does it all mean? And then you should write it down the first 6 months and then second half. Okay, so this should be really straightforward. Now, step 3 is decode the meaning. I've got all the meaning here for you. And this is a very, very quick summary. And this is the trick, how I interpret the yearly chart for all of you. I give predictions for each month. Now you know how to do this. Okay, I passed on this technique to you. You can do this for any year onwards, as far as you know their elements and everything. Okay, so yeah, artist also. Okay, great. Thanks, Anna. So every one of you, I would say, read the meaning, decode the meaning, and tune into what does, because this is a very generalized, okay? This gives you a direction, but when it comes to you, your specific field, career, business, like a power, for example, for some of you, a lot of you mentioned career direction. So if you have the power in your, this 2023 means power for you. If your essence of birth is fire or earth, power it shows up, right? For fire people, it shows up career, first half. There's some career changes. There's some career realignment there. This is where the chart is showing you there's some changes needs to be made. There's some transformation needs to be made, okay? There's some relationship with your boss, possibly. There's some, that personal power, disciplines that you need to really explore. It also means, for female, it also means husband, but for male, it means it's the money element, okay? So it can be your marriage. If you are female, it shows out power. It can be your marriage as well, okay? So the interpretation can be different. Now I want you to, we are almost time. So I want to wrap up today's challenge. What you can distill, you should have first 6 months, second 6 months, what are the key vision? And then based on the interpretation, I want you to also really absorb the key theme of Year of the Rabbit is about beauty. Not only showing other people's beauty, but also see your own beauty. What are they? Because this sometimes it can be your power, right? So important. This can be your resources too. This can driven to how you express yourself. This will help you to dive into how to create your network, the support system. And of course, this is going to really brings you money and wealth. This is so important. Communication, we talked about, just recap, attraction, limelight, how you can stand out, how you can hold energy. And one thing that I didn't mention is, I want to leave it with you, is the word versatile, being versatile. There is and we are going to focus on that tomorrow, because we're going to talk about the job opportunities, what they actually look in you for a specific role. Is something to do with this versatility. If you used to have one skill, you only just do this, your option is going to be really narrow. 2023, when the rabbit comes, it calls for you to diversify. If you have one way to make money, to create your value at your job, at your business, this is the homework, which will segue tomorrow's day 2 challenge. Okay, we'll talk about more about this, but I want you to think about it today. How you can create multiple income streams. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about more about money. where does money come from, how you can put in 1, get 20, get 10 actually. Those lucky people who have those signs, they can do 20. We're going to actually see opportunity in the job instability. This is where you're going to reinvent yourself. I talked about the reinvent yourself. So tomorrow, that's what we're going to focus on, because tomorrow is all about your power, your gift. And it's not just your normal power, it's your superpower. The superpower other people don't have. This is where also linked back to how you can actually really shine in the limelight. You don't want to be, it's difficult to shine in the choir with 20 people all sitting together. You all have the power, which is great. But what I'm interested is to dig out your superpower, that you are the opera singer, just one. You are this performer. You are the solo artist there. I want this limelight on you. So, and how can we do that? How you can actually find this stage. If you country music, you go to Tamworth. But if you are opera singer, you don't go to Tamworth. You're not shine there. You know, you need to know the space and time. So day 2 is about your talent and your space. Day 3 is about timing. I hope this is not too much. And I hope I provide you the strategic vision, the logical planning, why I draw those conclusions. And I hope that we are traveling as planned for this 3-day challenge. Okay. Welcome, Gus and Joanne. Any comments? And happy to see if you can drop it here. And I love all you guys show up. So wonderful. Thank you so much. And for all of you who are catching the replay, and you can see this obviously, but also feel free to jump onto the Facebook closed group where we can connect with each other. Like, you know, most of you guys already know you are Yin Fire, you are Yin Water, Yang Wood, and all the fire, you know, you can connect with the person. All right. So I am so grateful for you guys, and I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully you are all coming back. I hope I provided some insights today, and I'll see you same time, 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all. Bye.